Multifamily Mindset
Podcast. Think bigger.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to another Thursday episode here on the Multifamily Mindset Podcast. My name is Dallas Pruitt, and for those that are new, my role here at MFM is I am the resident mindset, mental performance, mental fitness, everything to help you become your best consultant and coach here at the Multifamily Mindset. My work has evolved over the years here, and I'm super grateful to be able to continue to spend some time with you every single week here on this podcast. It's fun. It's been more than fun. It's been extremely gratifying to see the evolution of this podcast become a tool and a resource to be able to bless the lives of people who are striving to do amazing things in this space and in their lives. And it really is just something that I'm very grateful for, to be able to spend a little bit of time with you every single week, even if it's just condensed 10 to 15 minutes max. I try to make it the best 10, 15 minutes that I possibly can and provide as much value, as much practical strategy, and as many practical tactics as I possibly can to help you go out and perform or be at your best and really conquer these challenges that you are facing in your journey, in your pursuits, and optimize your mind a little bit along the way. So let's dive into the topic this week. We're fresh off a Mindset Monthly coaching call. This is a standing call that I've done for the past 5 years at MFM with all mentorship students. And I want to dive into a few, briefly, you're going to get a condensed version, but I want to dive into a few things at a brief level that we covered this past week to help you master the skill of embracing hard things. I have found that this truly is a skill set, and it's just like any muscle. It can be shaped and formed and forged through practice, through purposeful practice. And you don't have to wait around for hard things to hit you to become stronger. You can actually become stronger now and build up your resilience so that when those things do happen, and they will, many things will happen throughout the course of your process and your journey, no matter what goals you choose to bite off. You can be prepared. You can be better prepared. You can be mentally strong in the face of all of these things. And so I want to dive through it at a condensed level. In our coaching call, I really covered in depth 5 specific areas, but on today's episode, and then some, we covered, and then some other topics, but on today's episode, I really just want to dive into 3 and maybe pull back the curtain just a hair on some things that you can be doing every single day, and again, leave you with some practical strategy to help you master this skill of embracing hard things. So number 1 here is hard, embracing hard. And what I mean by this is choosing strategically something that you can do every single day and making it a part of your routine. It's a mind shift that has to happen if you want to grow something of high value in terms of your multifamily business and any business or any pursuit, right? Any mission you pursue, you must shift your mentality to this mindset of, I love being pushed. I love pushing myself. And I love it when pressure builds and people count on me. And again, you don't have to wait for those opportunities to present themselves to make that decision in the moment. You can make that decision consciously now every single day and forge that type of mentality through purposeful practice. And again, choosing to do something hard every single day. What I like to call, or and other people do too, hard things first. This will help you to be ready. Always ready. And so it doesn't really matter what it is. I choose physical exercise. It's literally part of every day. It's how I kick off every day. And it's not because I want to be the strongest guy on the block, or it's not because I want to have a 6-pack, or I have these crazy goals to run ultras or anything like that. I work out every single day because it's not easy to get up out of my bed, especially in the winter, head to the gym, and get my sweat on for an hour. It's not easy, especially when my body hurts and kids have been, up all night and yesterday was a long day or whatever it was. And so it's just one way in which I consciously, purposefully choose to do a hard thing every day. And that sets the tone for the rest of my day. And it's really set the tone for the way in which I approach. It's been part of helping set the tone for the way that I approach my business and what it is I do in my work. And it's something that you can do too. And it's really simple. It's really effective. I invite you to pick something and do it. Number 2 is the get to mind shift. It's shifting from this attitude, this thought process, this mindset of, I have to do these things. The truth is, you don't have to do anything. And that really is reality. I told this story of, and I'll tell it here, of back when I was a teacher, I used to have some very defiant students that would show up to school. I was one of those students. Maybe you were too, so you totally get it. But they didn't want to be there, and they were very vocal about it. And they were basically like, this is so stupid. I wish I wasn't even here. And I would go up to the door, and I would open the door, and I would basically invite them to leave, and I was being very genuine in my invite. And they would all stand there completely dumbfounded, like, what are you doing? And it was an important lesson that I wanted to teach, and it really hit hard because they started to realize that agency is theirs and choice is theirs. And it helped them to go inward and really identify, and I helped them to, I pointed it out, trying to help them understand that, like, look, you don't have to be here. You're choosing to be here. And you can choose to be here with a semi-decent attitude. It doesn't even need to be extremely positive, but it doesn't have to be negative. And this is all your choice. Your thought process is a choice, and you've created habits. And so we would dive into that, and over the course of time, they'd really start to learn this skill set. And, for that brief moment of the day, at least they felt the control and the autonomy in that classroom, which was amazing. But again, this is something that we get to choose every single day. Entrepreneurship, multifamily, tackling the marketplace, tackling the industry, tackling relationships, tackling interest rates, tackling whatever it is. It's a choice. It's an opportunity. It truly is a gift, even if it's not, and when it's not going perfect, it still is a gift. So act like you want it. And one of the ways in which you can do this or create the habit to help you wire your mind is to literally start each day with some gratitude. It's why it's a central part of any journaling system I've ever created throughout the course of my career, any journaling system that I've ever chose to use. And it's why it's a part of the Think Bigger journal, which is an integral part of MFM. And it's why I continue to teach it and subscribe to it till I'm blue in the face. We give power to what we focus on. And gratitude is one of the greatest ways to, again, experience this mind shift and get yourself back to a good place. You get to. It's beautiful. All right. And then the last one here is imperfection. If you truly want to grow your confidence, you have to embrace imperfection. You have to become comfortable with your insecurities. And there's a lot of them that are going to boil up to the surface. Entrepreneurship, I have found, is just a process of confrontation. It's continuously confronting your insecurities. And if you're going to get there, right, to whatever the destination is for you, this big destination you've set for yourself and your team, the end result, you have to be willing to show up as your imperfect self. Progress is imperfect. Perfection is not progress. Imperfection is progress. One of the ways in which you can choose to tackle this every day is you can draft up some self-compassion, or what I like to call comparison statements, because it's something that I really struggle with when it comes to perfection, or me striving to be a perfectionist, as I see everybody else out there and their highlight reels and the marketing and the stories that are being told. And it's really tough to not falter or fall victim to the thought process of like, wow, everybody's got it figured out and I don't. And it's a really toxic place to live. So what I've done is I've drafted up some comparison statements that really help me get myself out of that funk. And I've also learned to forgive myself pretty quick. Every single day, there's a lot of forgiveness going on and a lot of self-compassion being embraced or practiced rather. But the comparison statements, I wanted to share a couple with you that I put on repeat when I get stuck in these types of traps. One is that no one is you. That is your superpower. You are uniquely equipped to do whatever it is you're choosing to do only the way you can do it. And you must embrace that. Show up as your real self. Be authentic. Be one of a kind, not one of the same. Number 2 is don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10 or your chapter 4 to somebody else's chapter 14. Everybody is at different stages of the game. I was teaching in the last coaching call that there is no hierarchy. We fall into this mental trap thinking that there's some type of hierarchy, and really what it is a bunch of people really on the same playing field trying to figure it out. And when you realize that nobody's really above you and nobody's really below you, we're all just constantly trying to figure it out, it really loosens those reins up. It really relieves some of that pressure. And that is reality. Number 3 is that the sun and the moon both shine when it's their time. You can't compare the two. And again, this is like the whole LeBron versus, Michael Jordan or Kobe conversation. Look, everybody's going to have their own perspective, and they were all great in their own rights. They play the game differently. All 3 of them played the game differently. And I'm no basketball pro, and I'm no, amazing analyst, but I do like sports, and I've heard the debate for years. And it'd be like me saying, hey, my favorite player and the greatest of all time is Ken Griffey Jr., and somebody else busting in and say, no, you're completely wrong. It was Barry Bonds. Look, statistically, throw that out the window. Griffey was Griffey, Bonds was Bonds, Michael was Michael, and LeBron is LeBron. They're different. We like to argue for argument's sake, but they're different and you're different, and you shine in different ways that other people shine. That's beautiful. Embrace it. Quit trying to be something you're not, and be imperfect at it all. Don't stay stuck in thinking about it. Don't stay stuck in learning about it. Whatever you're scared to do, go out and do that and chip away at it, and you'll find what you're looking for on the other side of that. All right, my friends. Hopefully you're able to grab something practical that you can go plug in and play right now in your life that's going to help you perform better, do greater work, do better work, and be the best version of you. I am super grateful, as always, to be able to spend, again, 10, 15 minutes every single Thursday here on the podcast with you. It truly is a joy and a pleasure. Please continue to rate and review the show so that we can reach a broader audience. And if you haven't gotten your hands on a Think Bigger journal and prep for 2025 so that you can get your goals structured out and track progress and hold yourself accountable and develop your mentality, go ahead and grab yourself one. That tool was created just for you, and it can be one of your greatest companions, not just in 2025, but ongoing. Grateful as always, and we'll see you guys back here on the podcast again next time.
Multifamily Mindset
Podcast. Think bigger.